Man.
Let's do it. Welcome back to the Sesh.
Is the Sesh. Today we got a little special guest, Muddy Mary.
On the scene.
Yeah, today's session brought to you by Muddy Mary THC drink. You want to kick back, you want to relax, you need a little bring me down chill, you know what I'm saying? We got you. We got them in 100 different flavors, man. Check us out, man.
Absolutely. Get you nice and mellow. Also brought to you today by Mastiff Chef. You know what I'm saying?
Partnership.
Dog treats coming on their way for all your dog lovers out there, all your little babies, your little boys and your little girls that you got out there. So, you know, it's something that's nice, holistic, and healthy for them. So it's coming, it's on its way.
Anxiety, whatever you got.
So we buy all
for
natural.
Humans or animals, man. We trying to cover both spectrum, man. From your boy, Nev, Mr. Master, you know what I'm saying? Y'all tap in. We'll have some greater details on these products coming up soon. But back to what we normally do. Let's kick off that sports session.
Here we go.
NFL has been hot and burning.
I was going to say, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, hot and burning, boy. That stove is hot. It's hot.
Yeah.
Free agency opens today at noon. Got a lot of action going. Jimmy G moving to the Dolphins. To the Raiders. What you think about that?
I don't know. That's a move for them. I think it's going to be the same move that it kind of was for the Raiders. But it's going to have to he's going to have to showcase him a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're going to have be able to hide him like the 49ers was hiding.
You don't think so? Defense sucks in Las Vegas, so we know that's going to be definitely. But I think Jimmy G's probably in the best position. Like, I'm not knocking San Francisco, but LA got some weapons. They got Devontae Adams.
They do.
They got Darren Waller. They got Hunter Renfrow in the slot. So, you know, they got some weapons. Josh Jacobs, the running back.
Up front. Yeah. They got a little squad.
I think Jimmy G is probably middle of the pack, but he gets overrated and underrated at the same time. You know, he'll go on an 8-9 game winning streak and people will put him in positions that are probably a little too much as far as what his talents are. And then on the backside of that, people probably he gets hurt a little too often, throw a pick or two, or don't pull the trigger on a big play when he need to, that he get ridiculed for. But, you know, man, kind of staying with the quarterbacks, what the hell is Aaron Rodgers doing? He's out the dark room. Man. He's I don't know what. Well, Aaron Rodgers, make a damn decision, man.
Man, this is what he
holding these franchises up, man.
It's almost like it's the curse of the Green Bay quarterbacks. All of them, when they get to the point, they're Hall of Famers, and then they get to the end of their time with Green Bay. They got to go through this whole diva soap opera rant and hanging out or holding out. I don't know what necessarily. It's coming.
Said it's coming.
What do you say? It's a time limit for everything. It's a time limit.
Brandon Marshall, I said, what's the urgency?
Tell people what the hell you gonna do. So number one, the team can move on, do what they need to do, and everybody else can figure it out.
For sure.
So leave all that stuff alone. I mean, wherever you go, I really would like for it to see him go to the Jets, because I want to see my boy Garrett Wilson catch a couple passes from Aaron Rodgers and see how that goes. Because they loaded and they did. It's nasty.
I think Aaron Rodgers overrated.
But yeah, he on the decline for sure.
Not even on the decline, man. For as talented as Aaron Rodgers has been, for as long as he has been, he's only led Green Bay to one Super Bowl win. To be as talented, I think Aaron Rodgers, kind of like earlier today, right? Everybody kind of using a different sport, NBA. Their superstar at the particular time is Jokic for Denver, right? Jokic has horrible playoff success, same as Aaron Rodgers, but nobody brings those topics up compared to Lamar Jackson. Anytime you talk about Lamar Jackson, his inavailability in the games that matter most, well, Aaron Rodgers ain't won a damn playoff game.
Complexion for protection.
You know, we be on Dak Prescott. About winning a Super Bowl game. I mean, last time I checked, you know what I'm saying, in the NFL, you was measured by Super Bowls, right? So the Tom Brady's of the world, Ben Roethlisberger, he might have 3, 4. Terry Bradshaw might have 3, 4. It's not a lot of cats that got 3, 4, 5 Super Bowls.
Because multiples is hard.
And if they are, they're defensive players.
You got to catch that. Yeah, you got to catch that dynasty that's hot, pretty much on both sides of the ball and the front office. Coaching, sidelines. Everybody really got to be clicking.
Yeah.
You become a dynasty in professional sports. That's just really how, how they win in this setup.
For sure.
But moving on, who we got next?
Man, who you trying to get on
who
to,
got
man?
in that next?
We didn't
Let's
talk
jump
about.
to them Dolphins.
You want to get on them Dolphins? The Dolphins is making headway. My boy brought up the Dolphins, so he feels some type of way. How you feeling about the Dolphins? They
Man,
making a
if
splash?
the offensive line can keep my boy from being back there getting hit and
Look,
throwing up
man,
gang
I done
signs,
talk, man. Look here, man. I told
then it'll be
y'all.
all right. They'll be all right. They really gotta reinforce shit. But I think their problem is just the professionalism of things. I think what is it, McDaniels or McDonald,
Yeah,
whatever.
McDaniels. Oh man,
The way he runs things,
got
I think is
another-
different and it's edgy and it's intricate and he relates to the younger players. But I think when it translates to long-term deep runs in the playoffs and success in the playoffs, it takes a whole other level. I don't know if that cat got it. It seems like his teams get to a certain point of adversity and then they unravel.
Side nugget about Mike McDaniels, then we're gonna get straight to football. Did you know Mike Daniels is biracial?
Is a brother?
Is biracial. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
You believe it?
Believe it? I don't know.
I don't believe it. But anywho,
I know he put that out there.
Yeah, he put that out there. But anywho, I ain't gonna get into
so that his owner could hire a brother after he just did some shady shit with a brother.
Man, you know. But keep it football. You know how we be talking about. You're gonna be talking about some shit in real life, and you be like, "Oh yeah, man, I fucked around and hit something, and I didn't fuck around. I bruised too easy now," type shit. Or some people just bruise easy from jump.
Mm-hmm.
That's Tua. He bruised too easy, dog. He bruised too easy. The wind blow, he gonna be hurt. He hit the ground, he can fuck around and be concussed. You can have all the pieces to the puzzle, right? But if you pulling the motherfuckers out of Ziploc bag, it ain't gonna be for long that you got a lot of pieces left. You know what I'm saying? And Tua is the main piece to that ingredient. You know, he's the straw that needs to be stirring the drink.
They can keep him upright.
You can't keep a player upright that is questionable on how he can go about the injuries. And this is the thing that I'm trying to reel everybody back on, because everybody just jumped overboard about Tua and his concussions. Look at the mannerism in which he had these concussions. They weren't big hits. They weren't direct hits. These to me, as a football player, are probably the more softer tackles you can have.
I agree with you, and it's always been that way.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
He had a couple that he got banged in Alabama, but it was some of them the same way. He was really out off of some bullshit, lack of hits. But what I'm saying is, for what they got going on, especially on both sides of the ball now, obviously they didn't kind of went all in.
Jalen Ramsey overrated.
So they done brought in. Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey
he got at this point he got more bark than he do bite.
That's been his whole career.
Some presences, that still could be something, but that's a whole other conversation. But for what they kind of got going on both sides of the ball, I think that why don't you slide in, and this is going to take some buy-ins from other players though, but this type of package, good work, but I don't think Hill is going to want to be back there on a max protect to where he playing as the running back, got a chip, a linebacker or something to slide out. In those type of plays, that's money. That's 30, 40 yards, sometimes if not a touchdown. Yeah. Because that dude in that situation, that's open space.
Right.
But is he going to be willing, to give that solid, honest chip to make a play like that happen from him? Now, their normal running back, I can't remember.
They traded Mostert, Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, Mostert.
And then they traded for, I want to say maybe Jeff Wilson from the 49ers. But the draft is coming up, man. So not to segue on or off, I think a lot of these teams that we talk about in the NFL, a lot of this is going to be trumped by what they do in the draft, what kind of holes they do fill there, what type of, player that they're really looking for. Mm-hmm. I think all teams would love to get veteran players that have already proven something on a cheaper amount of salary. But, people want to be paid, man. Everybody want to be paid for their motherfucking work. And so at the end of the day,
college recruits, they be worth gold.
Oh yeah, they be worth gold, man. So you see a team like the Rams. You see the Rams selling out, trading to Jalen Ramsey, requiring more picks where they've been in the past. Man, fuck them picks.
Yeah, they got to retool though. They went all in on this shit.
Yeah, they went all in and shit. They only got one Super Bowl. That's why I couldn't go in. I couldn't go all in like the Rams did, trading picks.
That's a great question. Okay, let's stay there for a second. That's a great question. And I know that they should have, back when they did it, but it's going to be other teams that's going to do it. That's just kind of model. That's a great question because to me, if you look at the cycle, like we was talking about dynasties earlier. If you look at the cycle of winning in the NFL as far as championships, dynasties, like we were talking about, is very difficult to really attain, especially in today's NFL. Before the salaries weren't what they kind of are now, even though the cap has kind of, always increased as with it. But still, it's a lot harder to do that because of players wanting to stay that are young and really good, but knowing you got a star quarterback that came in right with them. But you now in this league, the quarterback getting locked in $50 million a year. Boom. That's just what's going to happen. So they know in their mind it's going to be harder for them to get their bread and lock in to be a part of that team. So I don't know. I think sometimes that you have to get to the point to where your cap situation is just right. You can get these big, heavy free agents, pay the guy that's always came up with you in the Aaron Donald types. Go and get the Matthew Staffords at that right moment. Get that shit clicking for that championship because you don't know how long it's going to be. And I know the Rams is a bad example because they haven't had that that dynasty success.
That's right.
But
no, I get what you're saying.
It's hard to attain, bro. So I don't know. I can't really say yay or nay on it to be honest with you. But I don't. I
think a lot of teams have shown us how to build, and they still kind of do. 49ers, they stick to the standard. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of homegrown players. Steelers had
stick to the blueprint.
Steph had 3 ball coaches in all of our existence. We know 2 of them, right? You might have seen one of them, the third one. But for that matter, some of these are Patriots for the most part under Robert Kraft and Belichick. They've stuck to the plan. You know what I mean? They've had a blueprint organizationally from the front office to the locker room. And when you have that in place, the Eagles, like these are franchises. I'm saying the Patriots had a few rough years, but once Parcells went over there, they got Curtis Martin. You know what I mean? The things just started to change for New England. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just when you run right, when your organization is ran right, man, it makes a difference. You know what I mean? Like it just.
The Giants used to be that way with the Mara family, but
the Giants are normally that way. The last couple of years, they got some jackass head coaches, and they played with the New York Giant football family's
facts
integrity. That's always been a highly respected. The Jets have always been a joke, so to speak.
Chiefs has kind of always been a
Chiefs. Another Raiders for the most part have been Denver. A lot of those AFC West teams.
Yeah,
from Chiefs to Denver,
stability.
Yeah, man. I mean, it just that's big in football. You can have in football, you can have the greatest damn talent anybody's ever seen, but if that son of a bitch is a malcontent, your team ain't shit. Randy Moss in Oakland.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like. Randy Moss didn't want to be in Oakland. Randy Moss didn't care. He went over to fucking New England the next year. Some bitch caught 23 touchdowns.
Balled out.
You know what I'm saying? So like it matters. Football, that type of stuff matters. Basketball, I don't know why. Chemistry, camaraderie doesn't matter as much as football. It should. I think the great teams in basketball. I think that's what me personally. That's just kind of rambling here.
I think I know why. I mean, this is my opinion.
It's chemistry and camaraderie. The teams that have it have the greatest chemistry and camaraderie.
Well,
those dynasties.
It's a smaller clique. Well, it's a smaller team, so you get a smaller clique of the egos and everything else. So it can be a little bit more compounded. That's why, to me, it's a little bit more of a rarefied air to watch NBA championship unfold because that team usually is very jailed in certain situations, or they can work past their inner adversity.
Okay,
that's why it's interesting to see what's happening with the Warriors right now. It looked like they finally got tired of each other. But
man,
we can say that for the NBA. My bad.
Yeah. But man, we're gonna jump on the Bears real quick. The Bears over the weekend traded the number 1 pick, got a mighty fine receiver, and some picks. Another first round pick, the 9th, I believe, in return with a second and a third, maybe.
I think they got a 9th and like a 61st.
Oh, did they? Okay,
so in
the first round. So I mean, shit. When you're able to pick up more lows, the Bears look good. They grab 2 linebackers for agency early today. Justin Fields gonna have to put some work in next year.
You got Chase Claypool.
Yeah, they got Claypool. They got DJ Moore from the Panthers, and then they already had Darnell Mooney on their team. Cole Kmet, the little tight end. So they got some offensive weapons. They got running backs, Montgomery and somebody else. They ran hard. Fields, all these running quarterbacks, gonna have to make that move, man. And that move is throwing the ball.
Yeah,
if you can't be a weapon,
that's what I want to see with Fields because. Fields can sling it.
Oh, for sure.
But I just want to see him. I hope they just allow him to be in a situation where he can kind of just sit back in the pocket and work through the progressions and let that running be back on the secondary end. Or in half packages where, he running.
Touche.
I get that.
Touche.
But he got a lot to him. So I really want to see if that can manifest to the NFL. Because
over the summer, he made some sketchy comments about wishing the Bears would build a dome stadium. It's too cold. It's hard to throw in Chicago.
Yeah.
This, that, and the third. It was a little heartbreaking hearing that because that's kind of Chicago's mystique. Playing out there in Soldier Field, them winds, the cold.
Hopefully it's youth.
Youth.
I said hopefully it's youth.
I hope so.
Spouting all
But
his lists. Put in the time. You know what I'm saying?
This is my question, right? As I sit and watch, what would you consider Trevor Lawrence play style as a quarterback?
What do you mean?
Is he pocket style? Is he mobile? I mean,
I would say, yeah, pocket style, but he got some mobility.
He got some mobility.
His first inclination is definitely not to run. He's going to work through his progressions, move out of the pocket to still continue to do that. Okay. But yeah, he'll take off on you, bro.
He'll take off on you. See, this is because we got in this little debate, heated debate about Aaron Rodgers. Y'all saying I was comparing him to Lamar Jackson. So I was still thinking this, right? No, but I was thinking this. But when do we start calling a rabbit a rabbit? Why do it when we start talking about the Trevor Lawrences? Because they don't rush for 1,000 yards in a season?
Well, my opinion is this. Because mine is not like the leagues or the general consensus on let's just use Lamar Jackson for an example.
I'm trying to stay away from him.
I agree with him on being the running quarterback because of always his throwing accuracy, motion, all that shit. His gotten a little bit better since he was at Louisville. Okay. But it's always been that way. His first inclination and his gift and ability is just his elusiveness and his speed in the open field. Now, he can't get in situations where he can't fling the ball down the field and everything else, but he ain't the type that's going, if you give him that situation to take the running as a second option and put him in that type of offense, let's just say Baltimore completely flips that shit. Okay. He's not, the team is not going to be successful. Currently, in my opinion. Okay. Now for Justin Fields, I think it's a little different situation. That's what I'm saying. I think he's a little bit more of a proven passer that has been put in the situation because of the offensive line lack of weapons previously. Okay. But now I want to really, that's what I'm saying. It ain't like I'm saying, Justin Fields about the ball now. No. I'm trying to say, I want to see what he does with that. Now you don't have the excuses that you had before. Is it going to still be that you're not going to work through your progressions? Because he went through that at Ohio State. Sometimes his first deal was to take off running, and it was motherfuckers that was wide open. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I want to see. There's certain cats, like a Trevor Lawrence, I do believe him to be a pocket passer. I don't believe him to be a running quarterback, to where running is that one of the snack inclinations.
So if he ran for
his coaching staff, put him in a situation where the offense that he's running is run first. As quarterback.
I mean, Clemson, he won a national championship running the damn ball.
It wasn't run first, though.
He threw the ball a little bit his freshman year. He threw the ball
freshman year, yeah.
But he ran the ball. And so, I mean, he was the number one pro-style rated quarterback coming out, and I believe the top rated dual threat quarterback coming out.
It was so Fields. It was flipping back and forth.
With that being said, with these quarterbacks, I think some that have that protection for the complexion get put in different boxes than a Lamar Jackson, than a Justin Fields.
Of course, you can see that with the penalties. Watch when Trevor Lawrence he runs.
Oh, for sure. Well, I'm just saying.
Let's just say it's a straight up running play for a quarterback. It's a straight draw, whatever it is. And he running. And he go to slide and let somebody even clip the little chip of the paint of the helmet.
Man, they going to throw a penalty. And so
Justin Fields was getting hammered all last season. Some of those his ass didn't learn how to slide, but when he did, he was still getting cracked. And there wasn't no flag.
Well, I mean, that's I think I want to say I was either Fields. It was either Fields or Lamar Jackson. One of their team's receivers led the NFL in drops or just lack of conversions on third downs. And so, I mean, both those, you don't see organizations dive all in when it comes to a quarterback that looks like us and make sure they have every ounce of weaponry.
Mm-hmm. Right. They'll put you in a position primarily to fail and see what happens.
And what hit home with me with that was the Chiefs. Why are the Chiefs being so cheap dealing with the greatest quarterback?
I think that situation is a little bit different, though.
Because they paid Mahomes?
Not to me, not so much. To me, it ain't always just the money. I think it's because of the success. I don't think it's spoiled, but I think they're just at a point to where they're just like a little bit of, like you just like Thanksgiving. After you get done eating that first plate, you know what I'm saying? You know you get to go back for like seconds and thirds and fourths and all that shit down the road. But
So
that
you ain't
first one,
worried.
you just sit back for a second. Yeah, you
Ain't
just sit
worried.
like let it just kind of settle for a second. That's what they doing right now. The Chiefs are sitting back like, we winning every other year or something like like they settling in, bro. I
I don't
mean,
know, man. I watch someone like Jimmy G fall to the Raiders that have all these wonderful assets, right? And then you watch Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, whoever you want to call it, Derek Carr. Watch all these guys fall into these great positions, but you don't see the same. You don't see the same energy spent to make sure that
very
they're
interesting.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Compared to, I mean, and it goes all the way to Patrick Mahomes. They don't want to re-sign a offensive lineman Kansas City that went out and traded for Orlando Brown, or maybe signed him 2 free agencies ago away from Baltimore. Right? You don't want to invest in him. His win rate and his pass block rate, they weren't like top in the NFL, but obviously he had been successful enough to help you go back to a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why not invest in these same players? But I'm watching 2 offensive linemen in Denver, Mike McGlinchey, who played for the 49ers. He's decent. He get tuned up by them good pass rushers. You know what I'm saying? He be on his backside. He decent. Ben Powers, he's a good guard. Both of them got their bread. You know what I'm saying? Both of them got their bread and moved on. Sean Payton type thing. But with that being said, you just see across the NFL, and it's not really just quarterbacks, how there be a staggered delay, holding, dragging their feet. You know, everybody talks about, well, Lamar's not there in the most important of games. Well, if Baltimore had more around Lamar,
yeah.
But then again, I'm like, damn, the man won a Heisman at Louisville. What more he threw?
I just wish he would really have him. I ain't gonna say that his mama ain't doing her thing. I don't want to discredit his mama being his agent.
I heard that today too.
But I just the only one thing that I wish is that he really had a professional agent, because he gonna need it. They're gonna get gritty. They're gonna get gritty because what they're doing to him is it's blatant.
Yeah.
But, he got to hold out. I think in his mind he got to sit out, because you can't just run yourself into the ground and you don't know what these people gonna really give you, or if they're gonna give you what you truly deserve in the NFL. It's not like, me as a chef just saying, man, I'm just gonna pack up my knives and sit at home until they're gonna pay me right. Man, all I'm gonna do is get hot when it's summertime if I ain't got the proper AC ventilation in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Like, or have a staff member that's gonna leave. I'm not gonna tear my ACL working the line, or
doing some bullshit,
have my shoulder dislocated or collarbone broken. Like, no, man, that's not what's happening. So it's a whole different level of the game. So when you're not getting paid properly in the NFL and you one of the top, in your position, you got to get paid. Everybody else around you is
he's saying,
get
Ravens,
that bag.
give him that guarantee. Funny that we say all this, right? Because in the wake of all that, the Browns did restructure Deshaun Watson's deal.
I knew that was going to happen.
But they had to. They had to. You know what I mean? You can't give a football player that much damn money right up off the rip and expect your team to be successful.
And his ass know he ain't supposed to even be on nobody's team. So he gonna restructure that shit.
Yeah. I give y'all 45 this money. Y'all want 80 of it back? I got 80 sitting over here in the sideline for y'all. I had this check waiting on y'all.
Nobody.
But, we're gonna segue to the Panthers, man. Panthers traded with the Bears to get the top pick.
I want to see who they picked though.
Who is the first quarterback coming off the board? Is it CJ? Is it Bryce? Is it Anthony?
I mean, you know how these insiders be, but I don't know. I just kind of got a gut. It's gonna be Bryce.
My gut feeling it would have been Bryce had it not went to the Panthers. Now the Panthers, they see their next Cam Newton. He happened to come from Florida. He's 6'4". He run a 4.3 40.
Boy,
He's
so right.
Yeah. They see their whole new Cam Newton. Anthony Richardson.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. Similar. Cam Newton started out in Florida behind Tim Tebow, got in some trouble, transferred, went to Blaine College.
That boy might go first.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson probably fuck around and be the first pick. Now, with that being said, there's a lot of talk about Houston. Now there's a lot of talk. This is why I said this. There's a lot of talk about Bryce possibly going to Houston, and then CJ being the third quarterback coming off the board. How do you feel about that?
As long as he don't go to Houston.
Long as CJ don't go to Houston.
Yeah, I don't even wish Houston on my man Bryce. I like Bryce Young.
Colts are in
But,
there.
man,
Colts are in there.
Fuck Houston. I mean, I love the city of Houston, but fuck the Texans. Man, fuck the Rockets. Their
Hey,
ownership
man,
is trash.
Texans can fuck around and low key
But
make a splash through the
who
draft.
third? The Colts?
I think maybe they're like third or fourth, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I ain't see the mock drafts yet.
Yeah, all them teams need quarterbacks.
But you know, Raiders can still jump up in there and get a quarterback type shit. You know what I'm saying? So man, it's gonna be the draft, aka another little slight segue. We're gonna jump back on it. Hit that like, subscribe type shit. But
Please.
the draft is 45 days away, so get ready for a draft special coming for our dirty asses. You know what I'm saying? We got all type of NBA draft, NBA playoffs, a lot of shit's getting ready to come up, man. So y'all make sure y'all hitting that like and subscribe and tuning in, watching these products that's finna start hitting y'all from all of us, because you know it's a whole slew of us. It's a gang behind us. Now back to the regular programming. You know, man, the crazy thing that broke out to me today, Kellen Moore went to the Chargers over the off season. Now Austin Eckler wants out because he said he ain't splitting no time and he want his paper, man. He got to get his money.
Man, Chargers got problems, man. They always been an organization that was just on the cusp, or you see, kind of trying to do something and get the right players in there. I mean, they ain't never really cracked the bubble.
You see, we ain't never mentioned them teams that just ran well.
Man, yeah, they definitely
did outstanding shit for. But you know that's the sad thing about one. I can say about this. I've seen the Chargers playing one Super Bowl in my lifetime. 49ers kicked the dog shit out of them. Jerry Rice, John Taylor, Ricky Waters, all them boys were just running up and down the field.
That's when they had the Toilet Bowl Factory Stadium. That motherfucker
there.
Look, it was a shitty ass stadium, boy.
Yep.
My goodness.
It was somewhere in California they played too.
Yeah, man.
Like but yeah, before they did, they started talking about renovations and shit on stadiums.
Man, y'all need to just blow that bitch up.
Yeah, man.
Ran out of college.
Eckler wants out, man. He want to get his paper. I don't see a market for running backs. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I never been a big Austin Eckler guy.
Me either. Just nothing really was flashed out of setting about him. His durability, his consistency.
But he been doing it
on the field. Yeah, he been getting that paycheck.
You know, he not like
also,
he was Danny Thompson.
Athletes, I don't know how they be doing it, but I ain't gonna hate on their ability to get that money.
Man, he been getting it. He employed. See, but some just fit schemes better than others. You know, some guys run behind certain people better. They just, however that may go. Man, last but not least, the Eagles losing players. Right about the time we thought we would see it as a Cowboys fan. I'm always happy to see the Philadelphia Eagles lose something good that they shouldn't have had no damn way. But yeah, they losing players, but they got the main core, but they losing players and shit. What do you think about that? How many players you think they're gonna lose in totality, and how many players they're gonna be able to really pick up through free agency / draft?
They probably gonna lose. I think maybe 2-3 more.
Yeah,
I think that's probably 2 at the max.
They lost Hargrave. They lost T.J. Edwards. They lost 2 defensive players. Key defensive players.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So
there's some pieces right there.
Yeah, man. I don't care. They lose everybody. Darius Slay can go. Kelsey came back, so I can't say nothing about Kelsey. Shit, all of them can go. I hope they go have great careers, just not in Philadelphia. Hell, in the NFC.
What about the offense? The offense lose anything?
Not yet. I'm hoping they lose everything. I hope the quarterback he gets sleepy and forget about his plays. I hope the receivers they eat too much fried chicken. They ain't gonna eat too much fried chicken this summer. They're gonna lose 1/10 of a second off their 40, so they ain't gonna be able to just burn past us. 2.5 inches off their vert. They ain't gonna be able to just jump over us no more. Something like some. I don't need no great. 10, 5. Just small declines. Just a little tick here.
This is our welcome to the NBA, man.
Yeah, man. We're gonna jump on to the league, man. The league is hot as well.